OBS is disconnecting. Am I back? I'm back. So that was weird. It said OBS is disconnecting. And then OBS is connecting. But we're back, so it's fine. I should be back, right? Yes. Was that a question mark yes, or was that a yes? Man, my bitrate on the dashboard looks crazy. It's got like squigglies everywhere, but I have 0 dropped frames, 60 FPS. I just put the announcement out an hour ago about the name change. You missed nothing. Nothing. No, you were saying yeah? Okay. I need to figure out what I'm doing with all of this code that I put here. But then you suddenly realize how much your name is plastered across the internet, seriously. It is kind of cool though. Mine only has very few hits. My YouTube, my LinkedIn, and my Twitch. I don't know why I capitalized junior. So LinkedIn, oh, and my GitHub. And Pinterest, apparently. And Commerce City. Dang! Talk about doxing yourself. So that thing has all of my information. There's me. Apparently you can Google me and get all of my informations. Jeez. I'm already leaked on the internet, so it doesn't really matter. Am I now reverse doxing myself? Is that a thing? Can you do that? Undox? Disdox? I just reverse doxed myself. Yeah. Whatever. Last time I Googled myself, I didn't have all that information out on the internet. There's no docs. Wouldn't have worked for the Google results. Okay, I think I'm done there. We're going over to this thing here. I'm gonna leave them there. I need to figure out what exactly I'm testing. Because I'm not testing the apply. Yeah, I would need to test every single one of these methods, which we're gonna do. We're gonna write tests for all of them, but the apply method that I'm testing is specifically this one. Currently. To self-dox or not to self-dox? That is the question a streamer asks themselves every day if they go live. Well, mine today was to self-dox, apparently. Man. Fantastic. I'm expecting to be able to call apply on just the row. So which one of you is apply with just data row? What? What? Oh, it's on field mapping. I'm so confused. How am I going to do that? Test crash. Please do your own testing on your own gear. Oh, Diggasoft. Okay, here's what's happening. I am calling apply on the field mapping object. And the field mapping, as you can see here, is the thing that has the information about the field we are mapping to. So our C# class's property name, the type on that field, the rule we are using. So this is one of those copy rule, combined rule, ignore rule. Whether we must map to this field, and well, the intention is that this required flag is going to be we must map to this rule in order for it to be a valid mapping. There are some fields in the database where the value is required, like site ID, site type. So we'd be able to specify that. I have a helper extension method that will use first data annotations, second the user just specifies whether it's required or not. And then the list of field transformations. Man. And the list of field transformations really should go with the mapping rule. Because this is really only valid for when you're doing transformations on one field. Except each field transformation has a field descriptor. And a list of value transformations. Oh, okay, we're good. Back to the combine rule. We aren't going to use you. Okay. Copy rule. Apply string value. This doesn't even make sense to have anymore. That doesn't even make sense to have anymore. Because what? Because the last thing that this thing calls is apply. And this apply is the one. Oh my goodness, somebody help me. I think I need to rewrite all of this. This doesn't make sense to do anymore. Picture this from a hierarchy perspective. That's what we'll do. We have two levels of transformations. The first transformation is going from, and this is like the overarching transformation, going from an imported field or set of fields or some kind of rule that combines those fields, the values from those fields, to our destination. So we'll call that our mapping rule. That still makes sense to call that. How are we going to map from our imported record to our destination field? Right now, the ones that I have are ignore it, don't do anything with it, copy, which is just to take the value from whatever source field and then put whatever value we get back into the installation, into the C# class property. Or combine, which is we'll have multiple fields that get transformed that get combined together. So then the second level is the transform of the value before applying the mapping operation. So the order goes, we apply transformations to the fields, and then we use those values in the transformation of the mapping rule. And the thing is that we need the entire row of data every time that we're going to do the transformation. We're going to apply the mapping rule because this one may depend on multiple input fields. Right? Right. So with that said, the actual starting point for all of the, and this is what happened. Okay, my original thought was the starting point of all of these mappings was in the mapping rule base. Copy, combine, whatever else I could think of. Calculate was in there for a while, but then that became a value transformation. But now I see that my starting point is a field mapping by itself. And that means that my mapping rule.apply needs to be thought about. There is nowhere, oh, there is, maybe. There is nowhere I think that I am using the actual implemented apply, right? Where are you referenced? Nowhere. You, where are you referenced? Nowhere. It says one reference and then it disappears. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take these, because all of these are used. This one isn't. Do I want to keep this one? We're making this nullable so that overrides can return null if needed. Oh, okay. Thank you for noting that to self. I will do that then. Okay, I'm going to take all of these and put them into the source generator, so that these are the actual implemented applies for mapping rule. I think that's going to work the way I'm intending. So in place of regular apply, we'll have this. Ow. And thankfully I'm using the, no, I forgot the name of it. I wasn't going to forget the name of it. I had it at the tip of my tongue. The 3 quotation mark version of strings. All right, everything needs to go in one indent, please. Literal string? String literal? Then everywhere that I am using the actual transform result name, that needs to be replaced with my const that I'm using for transformation result, which don't ask me why I did it this way, but I did. Transformation result last name. Yeah. Yeah. And anyone else that needs to be replaced, such as in an actual mapping base name. Base. And that was virtual? Okay, good. Anyone else? Anyone else at all? Field transformations is a field name or param. Yes. Good, good. Good. No. No. Field transformation. Is field transformation not being source generated? I don't think this is source generated. Great. 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 That's no fun. We got transformations results, but we don't have field transformation. I'm going to put transformation result in its own class then, since I'm going ahead and doing this. So transformation result source helper row, just like the other ones, as well as the whatever the first one was called. Nope, I forgot. Hello, Rafik? Rafi, are you my brother? I still wouldn't know how to pronounce it. Is it Rafik? Rafike? Rafeki? Rafeke? Rafike? There's so many ways to pronounce your name. No, I'm not your bro. Why would you even think that? We're in a source generator. I'm not allowed to use file scope namespace in .NET. In glasses? Yes, I have one. You have a brother? Or I'm confused. I get easily confused right now. Okay. You have a brother in glasses. Awesome. Give me these. Oh, I know why you are giving me errors. Got it. Okay, okay. Down here at the bottom. Nice. I'm dead. Dead on your feet or dead because you're laughing? Raw string literal. Must be right after the equal sign? Not always. I mean, it is right after the equal sign. Is that a software or what? So this is a library that I am writing in .NET. The issue is still that the name was still because I pasted over it, that the name was already used. I was using a variable name that had already been defined in another partial. So I'm writing code that writes code. I'm writing a source generator so that I can create a whole bunch of objects. These objects are the base objects that are needed in order to perform a mapping operation to go from Excel or CSV or in the future some other delimited file to a C# object. Me too. I have a ton to learn still. Scott is one of my favorite teachers. Tyron is. TBD. Dukasoft. So many people to learn from on this stream. All right, what am I trying to do? I am trying to cry. What are you trying to do? Oh, that too. So it was empty and we needed values in there. So there were multiple errors is what the deal was in the long run. So I'm going to take all this, copy, new file. No, I need the name of this thing. What was this thing called again that I'm trying to copy over? Field transformation. If I could spell, if I could turn back spelling. Field transformation source helpers. Pasta. Instead of transformation result, these are called field. Oh my goodness, what are you doing, fingers? Field transformation last name, and then transformation result turns into field transformation. Okay, and then this is where we're getting the error that Scott said, which is we need to have at least one line of content. And there it is. We're done. Field transformation. You are going to become you're going to be in the namespace generated, so we don't need this using anymore. but we will need system.data. So that needs to be there. Namespace, default namespace, which is going to be the name of the assembly.generated. You have a nice day too. You're more into cybersecurity? Cool. Well, this is software development, but you're always welcome if you ever feel like coming back. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I am streaming my day job, so you'll see me pretty focused on the code, but Fridays we have community days. About 3 hours ago now is when we had it for 2 hours, and then I go back to doing my day job. Okay. I need the rest of the stuff for you, which is your XML comments. Thank you so much for the follow. I really do appreciate it. And then I pasta you there. And everything got tab indented the way it was supposed to. Actually, no, I think it's one in because no, I am using file scope namespace. Never mind, just kidding. So everything is indented the way that it should be, and we're good. Now I just need to replace all transformation results with underscore transformation results class name. Wait, no. Oh, that's not going to be good. I need to change transformation result singular. Yeah, so we're going to do a match on whole word. And case. This is whole word, right? Okay, good. This was underscore transformation result class name. Good. And then imported record field descriptor. Like, I'm pretty much putting my entire library into SourceGen. And the reason that I started doing that to begin with was like the only thing that my SourceGen was supposed to be doing, which now that I'm thinking of it, we might just go to, is for all of my mapping rules, I wanted to generate an enum for that rule. So let me actually show the results of it. I wanted to do an enum for the rule. So ignore rule becomes the ignore enum. That is for type rule with the extensions for that enum, such as in getting the description, getting the short name and long name for display, getting the class that it represents, that it coincides with, and being able to instantiate a new instance of that class. But to do that, I needed to have the actual mapping rule base object. And so in order to have the mapping rule base object, which is going to get deleted now, I needed to have the transformation result object. And in order to have the transformation result object, that's it. That's all I needed. Oh, right. That was it. And then the transformation result object was done, or the mapping enum stuff was done. But then I needed an enum for all of the value transformations, which are being done the same way. I have a transformation base, and then I have a interpolate operation and a substring operation and a map operation, but those needed the transformation result as well. And there was one other thing. No, that's it. And now, because I'm modifying my mapping rule base and I'm adding these extra things, which we don't see yet because I need to close Visual Studio and reopen it so we can see the generated file, I need this other class. And that other class needs this other class. And so it's just going to keep going. So like the intent was that the source generator was self-contained and you could do a NuGet reference to the source generator and write your own logic and implementations of everything. But now it's turning into, we wouldn't be able to do that with just the source generator, but we would be able to do it with the main library itself. You can reference the main library and extend the rules. That's what I get for trying to be too granular. And if I did that, then I would only generate the enums using the source generator. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Does that sound like a better idea? See you later, 8-bits. Are you actually streaming when you head out to do some coding? Because if so, we'll just right on over to you after my stream in about 30 minutes. Okay. Consensus is crickets. Crickets. Do it the way you think is right. Okay, I'm just going to look at the imported field descriptor object. And you need the import data file, and the import data file needs field mapping, and field mapping needs everything else that has already been defined. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I would need to generate on purpose. Is that such a bad thing? I don't know. I'm just gonna do it and see where it takes us. If I need to move all of the generated classes out, that's not going to be difficult. I have all of the source needed for it, and I can just move them into their respective folders. So I'm going to do the imported field, this thing. I need a better name for it, but I'm not going to rename it. This thingy source generator, nope, source helper. I need the imported data file. Pretty much all of these models here. Source helpers. 8-bit says, oops, not sure were you about to ask a question. It got cut out as I was switching tabs, but not even sure if you were asking. I was just wondering if you were you're heading out to do some coding, was going to be streaming your coding as well. Because if so, then I will just raid to you in 20 minutes now. Oh, itchy back. And then field mapping was the last one. Okay, All of them are going to have the same setup. I'm actually about to start streaming. Was thinking of doing the first 10 minutes trying to set up a lizard cam. Awesome. Awesome. So then if you are still streaming in 20 minutes, then I will see you. Well, I will raid over to you and I'll be lurking for the last 30 minutes of my day. Even though, I mean, I was still doing this during community day, but I'm not going to count that time. Anyway, point is, I'll be there. I'll be hanging out with you. I'm trying to find something I can copy pasta. Gimme. Gimme. No, I pushed the wrong button. Wrong button. Oh, gosh. Copy. Getting a little tired. So I started at 4:30 this morning. I took an hour break for exercise and then went back to doing this and then did community day and then still going. Still going. Okay, this one was the field mapping. So all of these are going to be field mapping. Field mapping. Copy. Oh. Why didn't you get picked up? Did I not actually multi-care it? Probably not. Imported blah blah blah. I'm so lazy. I'm so lazy. Just want to copy this. Oh, and I guess I should have copied it through the auto-generated comment. Field mapping turns mapping. Right. Field mapping turns into imported data file, date, dad, lowercase I, cake. Next was the imported record field descriptor. Last one. We can do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not recommend brute force programming. Do as I say, not as I do. Pasta. Lowercase. Delete. 8-Bit says, sure, I can shout out your channel too. Not sure how good my webcam is, but was going to test it out because a lot of people wonder about my lizards. Basically doing a live test of Unity 6.1 Alpha 2 and trying out the Maui system I mentioned and maybe some VFX effects. Testing with new features. Very cool. Well, it'll be cool to see. I'll only be actively lurking because I'll still be doing my job. That's what I'm actively lurking for 30 minutes and then I'm going to go cook dinner. Okay. Auto-generated. Copy. I will copy all this. And for you, pasta. For you, pasta. I probably should have did namespace as well. Namespace. I'm kind of feeling like I need to put these in. What are you doing? No. What? Oh man. Copilot, don't confuse me. I'm confused enough as it is. I should probably put these in another namespace, being that they are models and not the abstract classes. So we'll look at that too. And you should actually be namespace, default namespace. Oh my gosh. Copilot, come on. You were so helpful not 2 minutes ago. Pasta. Pasta. What did I change here? Hopefully I didn't change anything bad. Are we good? Are we good? We are good. Okay, field mapping was this one. Are you front-end.NET dev? I am full stack, and welcome in DaVinci or DaVinci dev. DaVinci. I am terrible at this. So right now I am specifically working on a library, class library, for some functionality I need in the applications, but most of the time what you will see on stream is me adding some kind of feature or functionality to a suite of existing environmental tracking applications. So for example, water management. Which water management is the application that we use in order to put in water flow amounts. So water coming into the Rocky Mountain National Wildlife Refuge and water going out of and through the various treatment plant systems, and some information about how much analyte was removed. Such as in arsenic. Yum, arsenic. Yes. Everything that says mapping rule type is going to be enum name? Oh, I don't know. What are you called? Oh dear. Where are the enum? You. Okay. What are you doing? Why am I doing it? Oh my gosh. Consistency, man. Consistency. Crap. That's not going to be worth doing that. You're going to stay like this. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. Field transformation is going to be underscore field transformation class name. If you don't mind, since you're a front full stack developer, where are you deploying your apps and how do you do it? So I am deploying all of these web applications to AWS. I'm doing it in a way that mirrored what we used to have, which was an on-premise server. It was a vSphere server with multiple virtual machines on it that were running Windows Server on them with IIS and SQL Server Management, SQL Server, and all of the other services and stuff that we needed. So the way that I've set up AWS, because we needed to get everything moved over at the same time as having all of the applications converted from what they originally were within 1 year. It was crazy. It was crazy times. So I just pretty much mimicked our on-premise infrastructure, because I'm not an infrastructure person. I'm not a systems person. I like doing software development, but I needed to get everything moved into the cloud. So anyway, we have a few EC2 instances that do have a Windows server running on them. And one of them is the test IIS, one of them is test database, and then production IIS, production database, and an ArcGIS server. This thing called DT search, which is an indexing service. Think Elasticsearch, except in a much more archaic implementation. Yeah, so those are all EC2 instances. And the way that I deploy to them is that this all goes to Azure DevOps. So all of my repos are in Azure. dev.azure.com/armits. Provided I'm still logged in. And for example, let's say that I deploy RMA Water. Links. When I do a publish to main, when I do a PR to main, kicks off the build pipeline. Build pipeline runs, creates the artifacts, and puts them in the staging directory. So the artifacts would just be what you get from doing a publish, essentially, but as a zip file. And then when there is a new artifact available, it kicks off the release pipeline. And the release pipeline, all it does is it takes that .zip file, pushes it to the IIS using web deploy for that specific site. And I do that to the test server first. It hits the deploy to production step and waits until it gets approved. So normally I will do some testing on the test server, make sure it still runs, make sure that the basic stuff still works, because I don't have automated test in most of these yet, but I would run the test as part of the build. Yeah, anyway, so then this is pretty much doing a web deploy in the long run to our EC2 instances in AWS. And that's my build and publish, my CI/CD. And since that's Azure DevOps, I'm actually hosting the code in the Git repository in Azure DevOps. Okay, where was I? Transformation result needs to turn into transformation result class name. It's fine by me. Everything's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, right? Azure tools seem interesting. Maybe I'll test it out later. Yeah, and I mean, this is like even the free instance of Azure DevOps. So you create a project, which is just it's almost like a Git repository, but it allows you to do all of the project management in here. So you can do work items with features, tasks, stories, all that stuff. You can define your sprints and your iteration cycles if you wanted. Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff you can do with Azure DevOps. And as I said, you can also host your code, your actual code repository in Azure DevOps. It used to be as either using the Team Foundation version control or Git, but I don't think you can use TFVS anymore. I didn't see it as a drop-down option. Yeah, it's even grayed out. Like there are no drop-down options to choose anything other than Git. Field mapping. Field mapping becomes field mapping. Oh, oops. I broke it. Except for you. You stay the same. Field mapping class. name. Okay, so that's field mapping. Again, in order to see it, I'll have to close and reopen Visual Studio. But we're going to do the other 3, 2, 1. All right. Import data file. Oops, I need the whole entire. Right, there was one more thing that I needed from field mapping, and are we using any specific usings that aren't the generated namespace? There is R. Speaking of R, Irish John Games is currently streaming as well. If Dukasoft hasn't already given him a shout out, here's a shout out for Irish John Games. Amazing game developer working on a game called Rise of Piracy, and it is going to be an amazing game. It's a real-time strategy kind of build your fleet and stuff, and yeah, he says often it plays a lot like Mount and Blade but with pirate ships. He is being published by Microprose. You can check out his Steam page if you're interested in that type of game. And I don't know what Dukabot's command is for his Microprose page. I think it's ROP. Nope, ROP. It is ROP. Awesome. And you can see it on Microprose there. Okay, there's something that I'll have to respond to, but thankfully we are coming close to the end. So I am going to finish up copying over the code for these. And I'm going to do it like this just to make it easier on myself. Give me these. Put you here. Collapse you. Oh, this is going to break so much when I get rid of the original files. All right, we're an imported data file. Oops. Yeah, and even this part already is making me not want to use source generator for all of this stuff. Oh, stream is ending soon. Yes. Yes, it is. Using system.data. I'm just going to turn around and undo all of this. Oh my gosh. I'm going to undo all of this. I know I am. I could feel it. Yeah. I'm going to make it to where you wouldn't be able to use the source generator by itself. That's the long and short of it. The only thing the source generator will do at that point in time is generate the enums and the enum extensions for the mapping rule base and the value transformation base. That's it. So I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes doing that, but I'm going to do it off stream. But I do have a thing that I need to respond to first, and 8bits is live. Okay, so we're going to raid over to 8bits though. I will be back again on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, which might be, you can't see me anymore because I forgot to turn my camera on after Community Day. On Monday, which might be after daylight savings in the US. When is daylight savings in the US? Yeah, so this weekend, we are going to fall backwards. Resident, not sure, says, yeah, the stream will be after. So it will, for those of you that have already had your time change and my stream felt like it was starting an hour earlier than usual, it's going to go back to starting at an hour later. An hour later. Yeah. Something like that. Anyway, I don't know time. You try to do time. We're gonna raid out to 8 bits per play. Again, like I said, he is a Unity developer. He works a lot on testing out new Unity things, as well as working on a sprite system for 2D games. And yeah, it's just an overall good time over on his stream. So I'll be lurking there. Irish John still seems to be playing Doom 3. It was either Doom 3 or Doom Eternal. Doom 3. I'm not really much for watching gameplay stuff while I work, but I'm lurking there anyway. I'm also lurking on Canny's channel, who's still live. It looked like he was ended for a second there. You'll see me around. Point is, thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. You're going to see a lot of... No, you won't see that many changes come Monday because I will not touch the app after I'm done with this source generator thing until Monday morning. But then I'll have 4 hours on Monday morning. I'm just letting the time count down, if you couldn't tell. Okay, ciao for now. Plus, I needed to get my waving game in, since I didn't do all that much waving at the Community Day ending screen. Alright, music. Do the thing. And it looks like you're ending. Start the next song. How am I supposed to fade out?